We're live. Now what? Oh, yeah, I got to hit.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of You Think You Know, but You Don't Know a Damn Thing About Nothing. About nothing. You know nothing.
You think you know, and then you don't.
You don't know. You don't know nothing.
It's like every time you think you got it, like, oh yeah, I got this. I know what's going to happen here. Then they just fucking flip the switch, and that's not what happens.
You don't know nothing. You don't. It's like
the market is good at making you feel like a dumbass over and over again.
Like that movie Less Than Zero. You know less than nothing.
Less than nothing.
Less than nothing. So it's like, what are we going to say? People still have their jobs. People are still spending some type of money. ECB is raising rates, and prices are not coming down anymore. And we got green candles. So
here's a quick little tidbit. Everyone knows that in a lot of markets, housing, right, real estate, not moving. I don't know about everyone else, but the market that I'm in, it is like frozen. Nobody wants to do shit. Obviously, we've been talking about that for a little while. Just the fact that you got, sellers that don't want to sell because then they got to go finance something else, and they don't want to pay higher interest rates, and buyers that don't want to buy because they don't want to pay those rates. And the only thing that really, can make moves is cash. And, we've got this situation where sellers are holding somewhat firm on the prices of their homes. And they're going, well, I'll just wait it out. I'll just wait it out. And one of two things is going to have to happen soon. Either we have to get a hint that rates are going to start coming back down. Even a whisper of that will help. One tick down and things will start probably moving a little bit, become unstuck, or sellers are going to get exhausted. They're going to get squeezed. They're going to get tired of waiting. And there's moves that, there's going to be people that are going to have to do something. And the ones that take advantage of that are cash. We have some friends that were interested in our house. We've been on the market for a while, and we made an offer to them that I wouldn't make to anybody else, but they're family friends. And we told them, hey, pay us down payment so we can get some of the equity out, because there's something else that we're trying to do, build stuff over at the ranch. And we're financed at 2.5%. So we said, well, we will extend to you essentially rent to own. You're not paying rent. It's a regular schedule of payments that goes against the principal, and we'll do it at 3%. best offer they're going to get anywhere. And they've got other houses that they thought they would be able to move if they reduced the price. And they talked to their realtor, and the realtor was like, if you really wanted to move, you're going to have to come down like significantly. And in their area, rental prices have also dropped. So now they're actually stuck with 2 homes that they can't sell. They can't rent it out. If they sold them right now, they'd be at a loss. If they tried to rent them out, they'd be losing every month on the mortgage. And it's like, man, how long are we going to keep this up? How long are we going to be in this where everything is just frozen? And now you got gas prices going back up, and it's like the situation that we're in right now is just, man, they got to just take the foot off of the neck for for people so we can actually get some shit done.
Yeah. And I think I think you're right, but I think that the people with like gray hair and the ones that like stand up in front of the podium and freeze, or the one in the Oval Office, or the one in charge of rates, or whoever, just pick one of these old fucks. They're all going to say the same. You're spoiled. You don't know what real pain is. You're sitting here crying about something that really isn't, that bad historically, is what they would say. They would look at you and say, your feelings don't matter, Bender. They just don't.
I would say your job is not to create pain. And I don't think, I think what I'm saying is, I'm not asking for, I'm not like, oh, this, I don't know. It's like, no, just, you don't put the entire housing market in a situation where nobody wants to make moves. Nobody can do anything. Like that, it just, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I'm just ranting because it's
your rant is fair.
They've put the entire housing market in this situation where it's just it's just at a standstill.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
No, it's not. And because everybody said it. It's like nobody wants to sell unless you have something to go to. Right.
Right. Yep.
My biggest issue with all of it, and I think you've said it 1,000 times, you had somebody who was responsible for maintaining a status quo who failed. Then they exert policy that creates more pain and more issue. Failed. Now they're in charge of fixing the not only what they were supposed to maintain, but the issue that they fixed. And in a lot of ways, they are again failing. It's like you have entities that continue to fail all the way up and down the chain. And the reality is, as long as the system is able to throw out, hey, I have an idea, fight about abortion. I have an idea, fight about gun control. I have an idea, fight about the environment. Fight about this, fight about that. As long as they can keep on throwing shiny objects over there while they fucking pickpocket us left, right, and sideways as we're sitting here trying to be smart, the problem's going to remain the same. The system is built to fuck us. Always has been.
And
always
to
will.
add on to that, the other thing that we had talked about, I don't even know, a year ago or so, was the fact that when this does finally break, if it breaks in a way that all of a sudden, you get this influx of sellers that are undercutting each other because they've got to move, they've got to make things happen. Who benefits? The ones with cash. Who has cash? Who has that much cash, right? Like when these market events happen, and I'm not saying that's going to happen. I have no idea. But historically, when these types of things happen, who benefits? Who buys up all the real estate? Fucking hedge funds and shit, right? They go on buying sprees with cash. They take advantage of all of it, and they come out on the other side with, when rates do come down and prices go back up, they're the ones that benefit.
Yeah. Just like with startup
It's
companies,
just
they're the ones
so
taking
fucking
it in the
irritating.
face. So
Yeah.
you have startup companies taking it in the face right now, right?
Yeah.
Anything that needs to borrow money to grow, anything that needs to even bridge loans, that kind of stuff is very, very toxic. Then you have companies like Apple or companies that have heavy cash balance sheets. They're like, man, it doesn't matter. It's like we took loans at like -1% and we're flipping it back out at like 4 or 5. It's like we took loans in order to you know to lend it back is effectively what they're able to do. It's the system is not meant for anybody at the bottom or the middle or even the fucks that think that they're at the top in their McMansion and their little whatever. System ain't meant for you. Never has been. Never will be. But let's do some charts. Let's do some charts because maybe within the charts, if we pick the right time frame, something can make sense.
All right, let's talk about the charts. Let's start. I'm going to go to a 60-minute here first. Make this make sense. All right, so we've still got this buy side right here that has not been taken on the 45.43 half. And you see the midpoint line, 45.42, as well as this midpoint, 45.40.75. So that is this high to this low, essentially the month of September, right? We've bounced and we're hovering just below that midpoint right now. This level is just huge, right? Midpoint of this down move. If we scroll back, it's also in the midpoint of this down move right here. And you can see from that 43.97 half low to this high, pull back to that golden ratio. That's where we went. Right in between the 50%, 61.8. Right? So that's, I mean, bigger picture, it's like that's where we're at. We bounced where we needed to bounce from this leg, came down to the midpoint, bounced, and now we're hitting our head on the midpoint of this down move and this down move, right? So it makes sense as to why this is a difficult area to get through. Now, combine those things with you have these relative equal highs in here and that regular trading hours gap that sits just above. And it's like, I think if it gets through that, we could see a very strong move. Doesn't mean we will, but we could. Okay, so I want to, like, the importance of that level. You can see what happens, or kind of play that out a little bit. What happens if we get through this area and hold above, right? These targets in here are just these little bounce highs, right? There's liquidity in there, but you can see us getting through this. Maybe we go test that 618, 45.76. And then 45.97 is up here above that. That's where this top comes in, 45.97. So big level, right? Let's go to a 15-minute. Zoom a little bit. So this blue line down here, I'll label that 45.22. You can see that, kind of swing low here. Also the London session low. Look at this, it's going for it. So that's the London session low. You've got 45.27 half being this swing low right here. Below that, you're looking at the London session low. The Asia session low is just below that, right in here, 45.20 or so. But below that London session low, I'd be looking probably down here, back down that 45.06 area. Right now, looks like it wants higher. If it pops this buy side right here, 45, 43, 25. Check out that right. 45, 43 half. If it gets through this right here, that's where I'll be looking kind of what kind of reaction do we have, right? It's not going to keep getting this close and not take that out. It's just at some point this gets taken, and it's just a question of, was that the objective? Was to take all this out, and then does it come back down? Or does it take this out? This area in here becomes support, and then we get to move higher. Yeah. So I don't know which way it goes, but I think at least, the chart, the 15-minute here, 60-minute we looked at previously, like, we all know where we're at. We know what we're up against. And there we go. It took that. So now I'm going to watch and kind of see what kind of reaction we get. Before I turn it over to Sun, I'm going to call your attention to one time today for those of you that are in our Discord that listen to me put out these times. The one that I'm interested in today is 12:34 Eastern, potential buy pressure ES and NQ at that time. So if you don't know what to do with those times, or if you've heard me call them out, it doesn't mean that at 12:34 Eastern that we're going up. All it means to me is that I can expect some buying pressure to come in at that time. Now, if you're looking to get short and you're looking for an entry, potentially, that creates that scenario where, it's pushing down, you didn't get an entry, looking at 12:34 Eastern as potential buy pressure, maybe that's where you get a bounce into a fair value gap to trade short. On the other side, if you're looking to get long, waiting for a pullback, and you're looking for a good place to enter, leading into that time is when I've got my eyes fixated on, okay, I'm looking for some buy pressure to come in at 12:34 and give me at least a green candle to get. Looking for red candles coming into that time for an entry if you're looking long, knowing that, if you're trading down into a fair value gap, there's a good chance that at that time, your entry likely will not start off negative, right? So that's kind of how I use those times. Now, if 12:34 comes and there's no buying that occurs, then that tells me buyers ain't home. They're not interested, right? And that's why it's so important to look for that entry into a fair value gap at that time, because now you can identify what the stop should be, and you're not sitting there going, well, they're supposed to come. They're supposed to be, hey, maybe they ain't home. Maybe they're not interested. That's just the time that it's expected to occur if they are interested. So if you're trading into that fair value gap and that time comes and goes and you break below it and stop out, well, they weren't home. They weren't interested. But that time is the time today that lines up for potential buy side on both ES and NQ, with a large gap between that and the next sell pressure time. So anyway, I'll try to give those out in the mornings when they line up like that. I don't get it every day. Doesn't happen, but 12:34 Eastern is the time today. I think that's it. That's all I got.
Thank you, Binda. Thank you very much. Sonny, what you got, Sonny?
I got screen share today.
Uh-oh. This is exciting.
It's gonna be very exciting. Let's see if we can get it done.
Bender, that's you.
Well, he hasn't hit the button yet because it hasn't shown up.
That's you, Sonny.
I don't have the button.
You should have the share. It says mute, start video, add cam, and share, or leave.
There it is.
There it is.
Is it
There you go.
There we go. All
Yep.
right. So, guys, this is my dark pool template that I work off of. It's really simple. I've simplified it, like spending over like an hour to less than 5 minutes. What you do is you download the alert stream, copy everything over here from the BBS portal, separate yours into ETF and equity. The reason I do that is in case I need to double check something, it's easier to double check it instead of searching everything in the alert stream. Once you have added all the data, you go to dashboard, click on data, refresh data, and it updates everything here the way I've broken it down. Now, what I've done is SPY QQQs, the ETFs on the left-hand side, separate out the signature prints, and then the sectors. The way I use it, so let's say I see XLF, they came in 2.26%. So it automatically updates the financials to see, okay, what did they come into that affects XLF? Same thing with the XRT. So they're looking at discretionary retail, so Walmart, JWN, Macy's, all of those. Other interest, China names. Movers are like unusual, like FTNT, Bumble, Match, UPST, Affirm, SoFi, things like that. And the mega caps are there already. And so this makes it a lot easier for me to see, okay, where the money is flowing instead of having to calculate it manually and trying to see, okay, you know, why are they coming into this? Do they come into the sectors also, and things like that. So what I'll do is I'll put this into my room and do a little tutorial on it. And if you want to use it, go ahead, use it. The other good thing is, so you're not spending time, is so this one calculates what came in after hours. That is over 15% of the dark pool, volume over 750,000, and over 15% 30-day average. So it automatically does all of that stuff for you. Takes less than 5 minutes. The only thing you have to do is remove the canceled dark pools out. I haven't built the logic for it because not only you have to remove the canceled line, you also have to remove the corresponding dark pool that came in for it.
I went through this
line was easy.
entire process. Yeah, it's good times. You got to pair them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to remove two of them. But so that I'm working on the logic on that. I've done some in the beta, but it's not 100% accurate yet.
You and me need to talk because I have some of this built.
Okay.
And I was feeding this into a database. We'll talk later.
Yeah, I do this on. Remember that guy Goofy used to be around? He used to do it in Tableau.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do this in Tableau also, but then I was like, the sharing of it got a little complicated because you have to download the runtime player for it.
I have a solution for that for you, and like I said, we'll talk later.
All right, cool. And so I'll put this in my room, guys. If anybody wants to use it, you're more than welcome to. I'll keep tweaking it and updating it. So that's all it for me today.
Awesome. Thanks, son.
Thank you, Sonny.
Stonkington?
That's very good.
Hello, good times. All right, I'm here. Let's get into some stuff. I'll do the sharings as well. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see. Sharing, trying to share. People are saying we're not connected.
No,
YouTube's fine.
they're saying YouTube is fine.
Okay.
So,
Is my share popping up?
oh, yep, that's me. Let's see. That would be this one.
All right, I'm here. There we go. That's me. Let's see. So here we got the NASDAQ, but more importantly, we've got Adobe ER coming up, and I think it's time for Price is Right. Adobe, some amazing photoshopped art. We got this thing today. I've been looking at this. I have no idea, but you can buy this art on the internet. Someone made it. This is Richard Wachtenberg Surrealism, untitled, but it's number 13013. That's got to be good luck. AI art, free download, but expensive if this guy's making it. Richard from Lithuania. And it comes in a tube. I know people are always asking for details.
All right, number one, where did you find this piece of art in order to come and display today? Let's get some background, some context. Should we know who this artist is?
Richard Wachtenberg?
No, should we know? Is he like a thing?
I don't know. I found him on the internet. He has a trust.
What did you Google in order to find this on the interwebs? I'm getting context on this.
Jones, what are you doing?
This one was, well, we had Adobe, so I was looking for that AI art because we know AI is getting pretty smart out there.
I'm gonna go. Fuck, this is so stupid. $8.99, even though it's probably way off. $8.99 is my mark.
$8.99. Magnet Man's in at a penny. Bateman's going free. Ooh, Sooner was just waiting for the Hells call. Total's in at 100. Let's see. Who we got? Greenberg Aggie Man's working on it. Decker's.
All right, Stonkington, we got 11 minutes. You're gonna have to give out the price and
boom. There we go. We got a winner. That's gonna be Decker. You get some AI art there. That one I can even send to you too.
43,000. Jesus.
All right. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Back myself up. All right, so we got this kind of setup going on over here. Let's switch over to a 1 hour. So we've got this big wedge that we're in, and ES seems to have already broken. We're kind of up against the top of it. Gold box is this daily fair value gap, and I've thrown a 0.5 fib in it. So we're kind of dancing around the 0.5 fib there. If we can get cooking to the upside first, I'll be looking for this 15,657.25, and then we may have something up here, 15,701.25. So I'll be looking. There's definitely a high up there that would be kind of on watch. We've got this green candle, potentially a bear who wanted to get in cheaper, order block type of line. If we start pushing back down, be looking for the reaction here, the bottom of that gap, which would be 15,590, and then we lose that. This is a 4-hour gap that was from this high to this low, and we keep pulling back into this, and you can see the halfway mark, 0.5 fib of this one has been holding up as well, so we may have something right here to be aware of on the way down. So kind of what I'm looking at here on NASDAQ, Russell is interesting. You know, we've been talking about the oh shit level on that head and shoulders that we were banging around for a while. We broke it. We had, I mentioned the bear flag. We had a nice short on that one yesterday. And now we've got this kind of falling setup here, and we're right up against the top of it with this trend line here. So above, I'm going to be looking for this level, reaction to 1882.10. Again, reacting, potential order block with this bear who wanted to get in cheaper, pushing price up in a green candle. Above, we've got some setups on the daily. We've got this daily volume imbalance and then fair value gap. So if we can get moving to the upside, you know, maybe once they were done with that big head and shoulders we've been stalking in here all week, now we're making a nice run to the upside. So we'll see what we get over there on the Russell. Apple, keep an eye on Apple today. Decent dark pool was tacking on. Yesterday was talking about 175.16. So they tacked on at 174.93. Just going to kind of lump it all in there at 174.93 since that's where they hit it yesterday. And then we've got this is the big line down there at 173.57. We looked at this bear flag that Apple was in earlier this week. That's played out. And so now I'm going to be looking just basically which dark pool breaks above 174.93, below 173.57 on Apple. And then we've got some other fib lines in this area that I will call out if we start making a run in either direction. The other one that was interesting was Snow. Snow had a daily inside bar, and at first looked like we were maybe working on a double top. Snow also got a dark pool that's 166.83, so we're sitting there just below. And then we've got this falling, maybe that, you know, double top can become a bull flag type of thing over there. So we'll see what we get on Snow. But that is all I've got for today.
All right,
Awesome.
very good. I don't have anything else. We got witches. I think we might get more data tomorrow. We got a little bull flag forming out on the dollar. We have Apple in the bear flag. Good luck. Have fun. Don't fuck up. That's all I got.
Don't fuck it up. All right. See you in a few. For everyone else, we'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.